And today we get the chance to hear about the good things happening at Aiming for Healthy Families. They serve 7 counties in Northeast Mississippi. And joining us today is Alesha to tell us a little bit more, along with a speaker, Haley. Hey, Alesha.
Hey, how are you, Rebecca?
I am doing well. Let's kick off with all the good work you guys do at Aiming for Healthy Families and then move into the wonderful event you guys have lined up soon. So how do you tell people the mission of y'all's organization?
Well, really, this started about 20 years ago with Ms. Carolyn Gowan and Ms. Pat Trainum. They had a passion for going in and teaching young people about healthy relationships and abstinence and what that can do for their future and how it can change the trajectory of their future. And we're just trying to continue to carry out that mission. We go into schools, grades 6 through 12, in these 7 counties that we serve, and we teach healthy relationship advice and skills. So it's not just about romantic relationships. It's about, it could be your work relationship, your boss, family, community members, neighbors, your peers, your coworkers. So we try to help them set goals, learn how to communicate well, listen well, and achieve those goals in their lives.
And I can see now why having certain events or community events or conferences is a good way to bring people together to sort of share your message a little bit more. You have one coming up soon, Human Trafficking, a Victim Story. What landed you on this sort of tough topic, but a good one to talk about?
Well, we have a sister grant run by Tracy Barber. She's our project director. And Deanna Knight, who I believe is also on the phone with me, she's an educator for our facility. And they met Haley through Stonehouse and some other places down in the Tupelo, Mississippi area. And so this is something, because we realize in what we do in the curriculum that we do, that this is a risky situation, and it's a risk that we try to help our students and our young people avoid. So it does fall in the umbrella of what we teach, the grooming mechanisms and that type of thing of what can happen to young people, so that they, maybe don't realize that they're ending up in sex trafficking or human trafficking. And so they met Haley through their efforts down a little bit further south than I am. And because of our connections, we've gotten to know her. She speaks quite often down in that area. And so we're thrilled to have her to come up to Corinth in the Northeast Mississippi part of the state.
Well, we're having a little trouble getting connected with Deanna, Alesha, but we're working on it. But Haley, I appreciate your...
I think she's on the phone.
Oh,
yes.
Deanna, are you with us now?
Yes, Haley and I are together.
Okay, great. Okay, Deanna. Well, I love that. Technology, we say it all the time, it's great until it doesn't work, but we're all flowing in the right direction now. So as the director there, when it comes to the human trafficking and what you're trying to get these children to understand it or recognize, like what is it? What are some of those signs as a parent that I can go back and maybe share with my girls, or, if you've got grandchildren that you want to help protect, what can we be telling our kids to look out for?
Sure. So one of the things that we look at is educating our kids about trafficking and what that looks like. But I'm going to let Haley answer that question for you.
Okay.
I knew she was going to do that. It really, what does a lot of the legwork is the class that they're teaching about healthy relationships, and they really lay down the foundation, and then I come in at the end of, is it like a 2-week class, and I get more specific based off of the details that they've been able to collect with those kids in the last 2 weeks. And so I think, what they typically do is open up a safe space, to be transparent, and they do a lot of listening to the children. And, these days, it's not too hard to see the red flags, because kids just really aren't that smart. So, not at that age anyway. So, some of the signs that you could look for are, cell phone use. If I were you, I would absolutely have my child's iCloud account. There's, nothing that I wouldn't believe in privacy entirely on that cell phone, and I wouldn't feel like I'm invading it if I, have access to it whenever I want to, because that's going to be, their main, line of communication. And then something else I would look for is their friend group, their outfits that they're wearing. Typically they're going to target kids that don't have parents that are looking for any signs. And so, foster kids are, usually the main ones that are targeted first because they don't belong to anybody. And
you bring up a good point, though, Haley, is even as concerning parents, we also usually have those kids that are also in our community circles, whether they're on our kids, sports teams, or they're coming to church, or they're, just sort of involved in the community. We need to be better aware that maybe they don't have the most focused family unit. And how can we sort of help watch out for them as well? Maybe not be, helicopter crazy, not your kid kind of parent, but at least just being sort of mindful of that. I know, for kids, they always think that it's never going to happen to me. Most kids feel like they're 6 feet tall and bulletproof as well,
right.
as we did. And so I think having the opportunity to meet you and to hear your courageous story, to me, puts a face with what could possibly happen. And so you're so open about, what happened to you and sort of your story. Why do you feel like you have to get out there and share that for others?
Well, I am a believer, and so I feel like my purpose is in, Genesis, where it talks about the enemy, what the enemy means for harm, God means for good, for the saving of many lives. And so that to me is, because I was plucked out and have survived things that I shouldn't have my mind. I shouldn't be able to really form sentences, I feel like. And so because I've been spared in a sense and I made it out with all the intel, I just have something that a textbook won't teach. And not every survivor will want to speak about it, but it's just one of them things that I didn't expect to be called to, but I've just kind of, naturally fallen into it. And I'm very passionate about this issue. I have nieces and nephews, and, somebody's waiting on me to do something about it, I feel like. And so most successful organizations are survivor-led. It's just something different that we can bring to the table. And so I feel very passionate and called to it.
Alesha or Deanna, either one can take this. I mean, you have your event coming up there in Corinth. What are the details on that if people are listening and they want to get involved, or they want to reach out to Aiming for Healthy Families and learn a little bit more about the work you guys are doing?
Yes, absolutely. Well, it's going to be on a Sunday night, April the 16th at 6 o'clock at First United Methodist Church, and that's located at 3161 East Shiloh Road in Corinth, Mississippi. They can go to our Facebook page. There is an event there that they can look at to get more information, and it's at Aiming for Healthy Families on our Facebook page. They can like that event. They can read more about it. We do local area fundraisers, and so we're not asking anybody to give any monetary support. We have had a great community response to giving to us for events such as this, and so we're hoping to have a little bit of a time ahead of time before Haley gets there. She will speak. She'll be their main speaker, and then we'll wrap it up. We hope to give away a few door prizes. But as an educator and a parent myself, or a former educator, I wished I had heard Haley's story prior to leaving the school system, because when she talks through her entire story, she gives a wonderful insight on how parents and teachers and faculty and community members can see those signs. I know one of the things that you asked, Rebecca, is what were those signs, and it would be students who we knew couldn't afford nice things, but maybe had on a brand new pair of shoes every week, had their hair done, their nails done, their outfits, their clothes were brand new.
There are so many signs, Alesha, and so important for us to chime in and lean into events like this in our community. I appreciate all three of you for being courageous enough to talk about a tough topic, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you. We appreciate it. And it's free to attend.
All righty, there you go. Aiming for Healthy Families. You can find them online. Stick with us. We got more for you coming up next.